We are back with our lovely part 2 of the late IHP show and how we do relationships. So with your inner child alive, you move from Pinocchio, who is wooden, to Pinocchio, real boy, real girl, real day, because you learn how to be in a 0-1-year-old. You, I, both, all have this with secure attachment. So that means that you also acquire differentiation of the self. That means that yourself, you will have understood it's a construct of emotions that come from your first year of life. Then those other 2 to 3, they matter, but 3 to 7 is shame submissive. So those first 8 years are your unconscious. As long as you dislike, mistrust, and or hate humankind, you still have trust breaks with your own body. This is not the other way around. Now, I'm attachment trauma informed. All of the attachment trauma informed human being therapists, they are all working very hard to continue to build data. Okay, so I get the whole we don't trust, we don't, well, yeah, I'm pseudoscience woo-woo lady for a reason. It's because I'm a 5D mystic. But we're here with people, I am here, who want to have their inner child. I want alive, I live, yay, yay, and jumping around like we do see Pinocchio doing at the end. There doesn't have to be a sacrifice, by the way. So this whole ancient story of needing to be their sacrifice, no. What it is, and here's my mystic component as a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group, I love Sadhguru, as he shares, if you overflow with humanity, divinity has to descend. Now, Sadhguru doesn't know about the psych education. I do. And I am a spirituality person because I am a mystic. And it's not only because of believing, no, I have a relationship with the sphere of Akash, but I'm also a person who likes to understand. So I know physicists and quantum physicists and all of those in the sciences community look into what they call the hard problem of consciousness. It's not a problem. For a person like me, it's actually amazing. It's beautiful. And the fact that there's dark matter and dark energy doesn't make me afraid to know that 97% of what is out there in the universe is invisible. What makes me laugh is that Daniel Siegel, he's awesome. He gets chased down the hallways because of scientists, people not believing and people who are finding out information and supporting humanity to evolve. I mean, seriously, that's, if there's one man, no, there's not just him, Basil van der Kolk as well, Stephen Porges, he's still proving his polyvagal theory, Tara Real, Peter Levine, there's so many of them, Diane Heller, I know my lovely team, Somatopia, not mine, but Dr. Albert Wong's team, Sue Martin, she's amazing. And so many that I think of. Patrick Tiahan, he's a childhood trauma survivor. He's healed and healing. I always say in therapists, Dr. Daniel Fox with personality disorders, he's an expert. So when people want to do I find it hard to believe, I leave it alone. I'm not here to say you should believe in anything. No, don't believe in shit. But you know what? I'm going to move out of your way. So what happens when you're a real boy, girl, or they is you want to love easily. You understand data that empowers you. You understand that there's nothing to be ashamed of. You also don't get in your pissy pants and deflect. You don't deflect. Deflection is something that can happen, and that's with split thinking, black and white thinking. So I've heard about how it works when people think and feel that their thoughts and feelings are irrefutable facts. There's enough free information online for any person who cares to be a member of society, to be one that lives from aliveness. So this is the part that is even more important. Real relationships, good relationships, are where I do not talk down or up to you. This tone will be always something a person will pick up on immediately, because that's exactly how it's speaking. The same way they can pick up on subtleties. However, the difference is a person who has low self-esteem will not know the truth, because they're prepared always for the negative, because their first 3 years of life were shitty. And then their other 7. As long as you hate, dislike, and mistrust humans instinctively, I'm going to know that you're going to come out with some negative sentence, some push and pull, some whatever it is. It's going to be some human suffering love narrative. I hear it all the time. Okay, so when on the other hand, you're having a person that doesn't have this dislike, mistrust, or hatred, when we do have those who are going to navigate what is a spectrum of maladaptive child behavior and or adaptive, it's barely noticeable at this point. I'm 44. If somebody has an attitude, I really don't care. I didn't care as a teenager. Once I figured out, no, it's not personal, because I just... So, and then I figured out every person who ever lied to me as a teenager, they answered my question. Because see, again, when you're not afraid, so why'd you lie? Why'd you lie? By the time I got done with all of them, I just didn't bother asking anymore, because they all said the same. Fear, 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 fear. Now I know about fear of inadequacy, and the adolescent age is from 12 to 24. So once you're past that age, if you're still lying around and doing things, then you're a childhood trauma survivor with the persona. Hostile, doomsday, doer, ghost. What is the other one? Please appeaser, which is are we good? And there you go. Those are 5 out of the few. There's plenty more. We also have the safety behaviors of attach, cry, collapse, submit, please appease. Oh, you name it. Love dependence with their love avoidance and the push and pull. So there's so many ways that anything that is a relationship is explainable. In fact, that's why Stephen Porges didn't write his book with his wife, because apparently the publishers... See, here's where I would have written it, Stephen, just because there's some of us, we like education, the real deal stuff, not the ones who muck it up because they have to actually, they have to sell stuff so that they can support what is skewed. And what is skewed because of supporting a group of people who are in a different group. And I am disengaging from sharing what I want to share. There's ways that we get... our information, the mystics. So anyways, relationships. What I do know from my lovely somatic therapist is that any person who wants to be a real boy, real girl, real they will listen to where their body is taking them. It's back home to yourself and their brain. So they will not resist unconditional love. They will notice, I'm afraid of unconditional love. Okay, this is not something that I want, because I want unconditional love. I am deserving. I am a person. I put in my best foot forward. And I'm not going to engage in relationships where I don't get treated the way that I know there's groups of people that do it. Nobody's going to have to pull anyone over to unconditional love, because it's calling to you. It's calling to you your entire life. So that's the part of why it's really, really not hard for any person who's a 5D mystic to know it's a choice point when we meet our oversoul. So we will make choices, mistakes. I mean, I don't call mine mistakes, but are they all right? No. Who does right or wrong? Only teenagers do. We're all flawed. We're all imperfect. We're all people. The one thing that people who have relationships right do is I talk to you about everything, not just some things. What are you doing? What's something? So when I hear, again, there's therapists, don't talk about everything. No, that's not a relationship. If I can't be vulnerable with you 200%, I ain't going to not, tell you. Now, I get what they're saying. They're trying to tell people but then again, no, see, I don't agree. But that's because I'm a confident woman. So tell me anything to my face, I will not be offended. Don't tell me anything to my face, I will know that you're just like everybody else that doesn't know how to be their 0-1-year-old. That's it. So I can have compassion up to a certain point, because there are enough therapists out there for people to know, not from woo-woo lady here, to know from the good ones. I learn from the good ones, that's the point. And so when people like buzzwords and trending topics, that's why they're doing other things. I like to share with you relationships, it's unconditional love. But that's when your 0-1-year-old is alive. I'm alive, and it's most amazing. So we're sad when we see people not welcome their inner child home, but we know we're not here to affect states of consciousness. Thank you, Sadhguru. The Enlightenment Soul Age Group 5D mystics, human beings who are somatic empaths, and they are like those great therapists out there. We all know that we will be here for those who want to welcome themselves back home. It is not a struggle. It is challenging for those who do the work. They have a good support system, people like us in the IHP community, personality disorders, all people are people. And the ones who don't, we know there's institutions, laws, all of that, and we don't say that they're not worthy. We know they're not ready, and we know that they can be ready. We don't say nobody can get back home to their inner child. So it's a journey to get to the restorative embodiment. Tune on in for more great relationships.